Hello.
Hi, friends.
So to Daniele and Ajna, I can say good evening, but Paula is good morning,
It's
lunchtime.
noon.
It's
It's
noon.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
good noon. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Silent head nods.
All right.
Was it one of those weekends?
No, it was a great
Days?
weekend.
No. Yeah.
It's a great weekend. Just, back to work. America's dumpster fire. Like, I don't know. Hi, Amy. Hi, Gail. Hi, Nathan. Yay, friends.
Hey, we've got quite a turnout today.
Yeah, look out.
So thank you everyone for joining. I'm loving the turnout today. I will jump straight in um, and introduce our guest for this week's Connect Wed Meet Mondays, and that is Paula. Hello, Paula. Yay. Feel free to come off mute.
Hi.
How
I'm very excited to see so many people here today. Makes me more nervous, but I'm excited.
Yeah, but yes, we didn't want to do that to you, but yes, it's going to be as casual and cool and fun as always. So,
Good, good, good. No, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
good. We're excited to have you, and especially with what you've told me already, but I'm not giving anything away. We know her as Paula. She is Pau to friends, and Paulita to her loved ones back in Colombia. So you said that's like a Colombian thing that you don't call each other by your full names?
No, like the only time my parents call me like Paula, it's like when I did something wrong. And if my mom say Paula Martinez, like I know I'm grounded, right? But like if you have spent a day with someone, you already have a nickname for them. Like it's so weird to just call them by their full name. It's just like not warm enough. And here in the States, that's so weird to people. And I have people tell me like, no, 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 call me like full name. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just cultural thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, from now I'm calling you Pau. Or
Love that,
Paulita.
yes.
I'll just mix it up. I'll pretend I'm a loved one and just mix it up from time to time. So I think most of you know that Pau is a wedding photographer and cinematographer. She's based in Miami, and you've been going at this since 2012, but that was when you started in Colombia, right?
Yes. So when I was started in 2012, I was not a photographer then.
Okay.
I just had a friend that was a wedding photographer call me into her project of wedding photography because she needed somebody to help her with the part that she didn't like. She only enjoyed doing the photo part. She didn't like the planning, the timeline, the contracts, and the book design and all of that. So I joined her, and she didn't like to charge the clients. She didn't like any of that fun part. So I joined to help her with all of that. And of course, after being in it for a while, I just start getting curious and asking her, like, hey, can you teach me like about the camera, the settings, this, that? And I start going with her. But every now and then. So I was not full into photography till a little bit later than that.
Okay. Okay. So kind of started naturally. I suppose
Yes.
you didn't plan on picking up the camera yourself, I suppose, when you started. That just happened, was it?
That just happened, and I was just super intrigued because when I was designing the albums, I was creating the storytelling, and I just start asking about it and like seeing that maybe some moments were like either missing or some parts where I was like, I'm not connecting this here. And also, I was seeing that there were some other parts that were so telling, and I just like fell in love with it, and I wanted to like know more about how can I get to do that as well. And then since I was the one back then, it was pre-COVID, pre-everything. So I was going to each client personally to deliver everything, in Colombia, the mail is not also a thing. Everything get lost in the mail. So I was going personally to deliver the books and the USBs and everything to the client. Oh no, CDs. I was doing CDs back then. So seeing people's faces when they see it, and of course always the hug, thank you so much, all of that. Like I always loved that part. So my friend didn't like that part, but the plan and the timeline and the delivery, I love that. So I was, on it, and the only part that I was missing was the actual, photo taking.
Right.
So I said, like, why not? So I started getting involved, but I was not good at all back then.
Go on, tell us more about that then. What was that? What was that learning curve
Well,
like for you? Yeah.
it's not that I'm good now, like super good or anything,
Come
but
on.
like all the photos were out of
That's a
focus.
lie, Paula.
Yeah, that is my.
But like all the photos were out of focus. I also push myself to use manual settings all the time. So I really make big mistakes, like going inside of church and taking photos with the right settings and start backing, and then out of the church. And I completely forgot to change the settings, and then full light, and, like newbie mistakes. Then I was like looking in the, and not checking every time. So I learned a lot from all of those mistakes. And thankfully, I had hair and I had my team. So all of these photographers were my team. And I was just going along with them to just like learn and make those mistakes. So
Mm.
I was not putting in jeopardy any real, client. Like they were real clients, but I had my team there with me. So then I went like, oh, look the mistake that I make. And they were like, so my friend and the other photographers will help me on the fly, like, oh, this happened because of this. I know I touched something in the camera. And although the other day that happened, Emmy, that was with you in Morocco, I touched something on my camera and it starts making the weirdest sound. Like it was start making the sound every time I wanted to focus. And I was like, Emmy, how I changed this? I remember. So yeah, sometimes it happens still, but not like that. Not like back then.
Right. Well, kind of cool that you had a safe space then to make those mistakes and to learn and quickly.
I will never put in jeopardy somebody's actual, I took that opportunity to learn, but I will never,
Yes.
even the first wedding that I took here in the States, I hire like an art photographer to be with me. And like, yeah, I will never. That, yeah, no.
Speaking of learning, by the way, I wanted to just slip in the really interesting slash random fact about Paula, and that she has had about every job that you can think of. So I would love it if you could share like a bit about your twisty turny journey that you've taken, and all the different, weird and wonderful jobs that you've done along the way.
I don't know. So when you asked me that question, I started thinking, and in these sessions, we always think of like your why and how you end up where you are. And sometimes like life stories are just so inspiring. And for me, it's funny because I don't know. I'm just a person that likes to go with the flow. And as I saw my parents hustle their whole life, right? So for me, um, taking a corporate job when I graduated from university was the worst thing that it could ever happen to me. It was the most horrible experience I ever happened. And I thought, this can't be life. Life cannot be just be there at 8 a.m. every morning, being out of my house at 6 a.m. because I had to take the bus. And then when my mom got sick, asking for someone to permission and giving proof that she was sick, that I couldn't go to work, or if I can please take an hour of my time to be with my mom and whatever. So I was like, life had to be more than this. So then that's when I started like with all type of entrepreneur endeavors. I end up with my friend. And then in 2017, that was in 2012, and in 2017, I was frustrated. The wedding industry in Colombia, it's hard as well. I hit like a wall, and I start feeling like frustrated and dismotivated and all of that. So I decided to sell absolutely everything. I sell my part of the company to her, and I decided that I just wanted to travel. So traveling is expensive. So um, I just figure the jobs are just the mean that I have to keep just living life. So I've worked, of course, in the restaurant industry, on the kitchen and on the floor as a host. I even work on a car wash in the Bronx.
Wow.
I was a teacher once also, but I also was, when I graduated of university, I was the assistant of like an investigation. I studied industrial design, and they had an investigation, how do you say, like department. So I was assistant there for a while. Um, I work in farms. I've lived with a million people, like working in the farm, just work with them. And then was this one time that it was only people from Laos and me. And then, so I learned how to say like, let's eat and thank you. So, in Lao. And so yeah, all of that happened, and I was just like traveling along with all of that. In that process, I also assisted for photography. Sometimes, like I was in a place and I was like, oh, I need money. So I would just contact local photographers and say, like, hey, can I assist you? And then just like that. And till I said, like, I'm starting to get tired, like 4 years only with a bag under my back, behind my back, and just exchanging everything. So if you're going to a cold place and you only have like warm clothes, so you need to change whatever and just be detached of everything. Just like, oh, I love these boots so much, but I'm going to Cancun. I'm not gonna use those. So either give it away to somebody that needs them, and just like, so I lived like that for a long time, like just working in everything that and I had a lot of fun, and I learned a lot of things, and I met a lot of people. I also did a lot of volunteer work. So because you can just like go to, for example, an eco village and just live there for a while you help in the farm, or like with artwork, or like whatever you can teach. You can teach the people like English or whatever you can do for people. And then you meet people from all over the world there. So yeah.
My mind is kind of blown, like the variety, the amount of things you've done. I feel exhausted just listening to you, and like the fact you did it for 4 years.
Yes, and if I keep thinking, I can come up with more, like strange upside. Yes.
Oh, but like as you said, yes, the people you met, but like the lessons you must have learned and the amount you must have grown by living in that way. That must have been.
Well, honestly, it's so funny that you said it, because so I came to the States, and I was like, I kind of want to start like rooting, because just not having a home was nice for a while and I was younger, but then at some point I was like, I need like roots, and Colombia was not an option for me anymore. And I ended up meeting my husband and falling in love, and I didn't want to live in Miami, but here I am because he's from here. And we moved, I told you guys, we moved a little ago. And he told me, I can't believe you have so many things when you came here with a bag. So now I just go back to just like having a lot of things, and just like, but I know if I have to leave, like this attachment is something that I have to constantly remind myself. Today we have everything, tomorrow we don't know. And honestly, what we need, it's just like not, I don't need much. Maybe other people do, but I learned that I don't need much. And then all the stories of all these people, the people from Laos, the one that actually I could communicate with, amazing. And in the car wash, you meet people that has like amazing stories. So I just like to talk to people, and like I think I could write a book of all the stories that I heard of other people, not my stories, but like I will have to contact them to ask for permission. But
I would definitely read that book. I think we're in danger of talking only about your backstory and not about your actual wedding photography and cinematography. So let's just
I'm sorry.
no, don't be sorry. It's amazing. I love it. But let's switch gears a bit and speak about your life then as a wedding photographer, cinematographer. So tell us a bit about how you fell back in love with it, I think is the way you put it, or it found you again. And yeah, how has your career just grown since you came back in?
So it found me again. I honestly just came to the States and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? My dad was an immigrant and he always have like immigrant jobs. So in my mind, I thought that I had to do as well, you know. So my career, I didn't put my career into action so for so many years. So I was like, I cannot do that here. So I just start, you know, again, just as for a work on a flower shop. And I started working there. It's like a hard job. I learned a lot. I did a couple of weddings or like arrangements for weddings as well. And my husband had a camera, kind of like an old not old, but it was not like the best camera. And I was like, one day I just said like, I can't do flowers anymore. Like this is too hard. My feet hurt and I've gone through these like so much. And I was getting paid $12 an hour. I said to myself, like, this is not the American dream. This is not what. So I took, thank God I always travel with my computer and I had my hard drive of all those weddings that I have done in like 2012. And I said, I'm going to start a wedding photography business and this time I'm going to be the photographer. So I put together a portfolio and a website and I start contacting like local photographers and say like, hey, would you give me a chance? Will you give me a chance? And I just start doing that. And back then I was studying English. So I went to school and I told my teacher, like, I want to do this. I can't do the flowers anymore. I love flowers, but these jobs like this killing my back and the hours were like I was not enjoying it as much. So she actually gave me my first gig. She says like, oh, my sister is gonna have like this party. Do you want to photograph it? And I was like, yeah, okay. So that was my first. So I always believed in putting things out there, just say it out loud, and they just start rolling from there. So my husband uh, let me use his camera, and it was just like something that inspired me. Like, I don't want to be doing this, and I think I can be good doing all of this. So it was out of pure, like, still the hustle. I need to be here and I need to survive, right? So for me, the hustle is always the main how do you say, like, incentive, because you know, and from the beginning I told my husband I'm gonna give everything that I have to this, like all my savings, all my time, everything that I have. And if this doesn't work in a year, then I will start asking, you know, maybe go to restaurants or whatever. um but it kind of worked. So and it makes me very happy. So it sounds like it's just for the hustle, but I also like enjoy what I do a lot.
I can see that actually, not just from the finished product. I mean, your photos are incredible, but from what people say about working with you, I mean, you've got absolute glowing testimonials, and that those are just the ones you've put on your website. You know, people saying how good you are with your communication, how quick you are, like super quick with delivering your photos, really going above and beyond, and the time you put into creating your relationships with them as well. So yeah, it sounds like sort of all round you've got all the areas nailed.
Yeah, I think that's the part that I enjoy the most. and it was what I enjoyed in 2012. It was the communication with the clients and just building those relationships. And also, you take their photos and then you take their maternity photos and then you're one of the first person that knows that they are pregnant. And then you are one of the first person that meets their baby. So for me, that's an honor. And then when you go to their house to meet the baby, you see all the photos you took of their wedding and of their families on the walls. And that's so nice. It's just an honor.
Yeah, yeah, I can believe that. I think one of them I read said something like, if they were to do it all over again, you would be the first person on their list that they would contact. So I think that says something. And like we've talked about your journey a lot and what you've loved about the photography, but what have been the toughest times or the toughest time in your journey as a wedding photographer? Maybe in sort of part two as the Miami wedding photographer.
Well, imagine in 2012, I was in Colombia. I had a partner. I had photographers. Everybody that I knew was there. So in 5 years, what I was able to build with all that community there, right? So I don't know anybody here. I didn't know anybody here back then. It was my husband. Like my dad used to live here in Miami, but he was not my client and he didn't know anybody that, he worked in a hotel as a baker. So he didn't, I was not connected with anybody. I didn't know anybody. Like it was literally a start from scratch. And after 3 years, I can say that what I have accomplished in this amount of time in comparison of what I accomplished in the 5 years I have Photo Machine Studio, that was the name of the other one, by myself has been like triple, like the amount of weddings, amount of connections, amount of everything. So I am very amazed of like how without knowing absolutely anybody, but it wasn't easy. It was just because I said it, if this doesn't work in a year, it's not gonna work. But if I want to make it work, I'm literally gonna do everything that I can. So contact and with no shame, just like text everyone and say, and ask for help. And I invested in education too. So when I tell you all of my savings in Colombian pesos, which is a very different rate, all the savings that I had from all those trips and everything that I had in Colombia, I had to just so I said, when I say give everything, it was like everything and very, very long hours. So I started working for like photographers that were not paying much. So I was going to class, then going to the flower shop, and then going to cover events for other photographers. So yeah, those were like, I think the first like 6 months. So that was intense. But I loved it. I loved it, and it gave me the time to practice and learn and learn and learn and like learn more, um, and get to know a little bit of the market here, which is very different than the Colombia market. So I guess that was the hardest part, just start building everything from scratch.
Ooh, wow. Again, I feel exhausted just listening to you, but like that's no, don't worry. In a sort of I'm impressed with your resilience way. The word that came to me as you were talking was necessity. Like when you've really gone all in and you've given yourself 1 year, or that's it. Like your necessity is sky high, and that's so powerful, isn't it? When you've made that decision and you kind of have to make it work, which you did.
Yes. Yes, and I'm very thankful for that. Honestly, I didn't have a lot of hopes in Miami. I was like, oh, I honestly wanted to live in New York. That was my goal, and that's where I wanted to live. But you know, life have other plans for you sometime. And again, I'm just go with the flow. You have to let go of ideas sometimes, like idea of success. What is your idea of success? Like being in New York doing whatever, or you know, or earning this amount of money. So when you let go those ideas, then I ended up, you know, in Miami. And surprisingly, the community here, it's amazing. It's not only you meet other Colombian and they are like, it's something like unspoken. You meet somebody and it's like, I know you know, and I'm gonna help you, you know. So with the Colombians, it's like that, and there's many, many Colombians here in Miami, but it's also with every single Latin person that you know. So when you meet a person from Mexico, it's the same as if they were from Colombia. So I met many, many Latin planners and all of that, and I think Miami, I didn't have any hopes of it, and I was very critical, and you know, but honestly, I don't know if my business will be so like as successful as it is if I were somewhere else in the States, because everybody here makes mistakes when they talk. If they are not from South America or whatever, they are from Ukraine or you know somewhere else. Or Europe, somewhere where English is not like the main. So everybody makes mistakes when they talk. Nobody writes perfect English. And when people come from other places, they like, ooh, I love your accent and things like that. So it's actually, I think, beneficial for me. So I now love Miami. I now think Miami opened its doors for me in such a way. And I think that's when going with the flow works so well because you never know. And life have interesting ways to shut you up. Because I said many times to my dad, because he was living in Miami, he was like, you have to come, you have to come. And I was like, but I will never live in Miami. So,
Yeah, the universe was like, we'll see about that.
literally, yes.
Oh, I love your story, and you should definitely write a book. I feel like we could do a spin-off already of this interview. Like, there's so many different roads we could go down. But let's not do that right now. But I would like picking up on what you said about people helping you out. That's a good segue to the question I usually ask is, how could we as a ConnectWed community support you?
Well, I think it's funny because everybody responds the same all the time, which is like, this is great. Um, I honestly feel that you guys have done so much already. Um, just being there, just being always so open with your stories and everything. I just feel like inspired by all of that. I honestly cannot ask anything else from you guys other than what you have already done, just like sharing whatever you post or whatever you always want to share and keep having these spaces. I think it's the most that I can ask for you. I don't think there's anything else I can think of.
Wow, amazing. Appreciate the feedback, and we love having you at these sessions and the energy you bring, the questions you bring, and just thank you. Thank you for being a part of this community and bringing what you bring.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
And I would hand over now to this huge crowd that's been waiting and dying to chip in their questions and comments. So, who wants to start?
I just wanted to say that I loved hearing your story of like your winding journey to get where you are. I think that's been one of becoming an entrepreneur myself, one of the most rewarding things is being able to talk to other people who just have these journeys that look like crazy on paper, especially as someone who also spent some time in the corporate world where like there's a traditional path, and if you don't follow that, you're kind of outcast. And in the wedding industry and in the entrepreneur world, it's very much the opposite. We all have some kind of crazy journey, and I loved hearing yours, and just really inspired by the risks that you took on yourself and kind of your dream, and love seeing that it's paid off. And I think that's just really inspiring, and I can tell that it lights you up, and that lights me up too.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
I love the synchronicity with Paula literally turning her light on as well at the end. It's kind of symbolic of what you just said. Thank you, Gail. Ajna?
I mean, fuck, our members are cool. Like, I just, every time I watch these sessions, I'm like, who are these people? Like, I mean, I knew, but like, you don't know. Like, I knew Paula was amazing, but like, I didn't know like how, you know what I mean? Like, how many levels deep that went. Kristen is out with COVID right now. I know she is going to be so sad to learn that she missed you, because I know how much she adores you. But I mean, yeah, I could say so many things. My path is equally as random. I mean, maybe not as like I thought my path was random and all over the place until I heard your story, but the things that are kind of mostly clanging around in my head is one, like how deeply like the ingrained hustle of being an immigrant, like how deeply that is ingrained in you. Um, I'm not an immigrant, but I grew up really poor, and that hasn't left me. My hope for you is that you can find a place in your business that you can just relax and enjoy like how brilliant you are and your talent and the relationships you're building with these couples, because it's clear that that is equally as special to them as it is to you. But I guess the main thing I want to say is thank you, because I mean, I think everybody here knows this. Like, I too spent my entire life savings on ConnectWed, and I said I'm going to give it everything I have for a year and see, like, and just then if I can't make it work in a year, I'm going to have to do something else. Like, the year is up. Like, ConnectWed is doing amazing things, but it's not making enough money to survive. And I'm tired and burnt out, but like hearing you talk about that was like just kind of smack myself on the ass and be like, get up and keep fighting. Like, this is worth it. Like, like this community of people need each other and support each other. And like, you have to make a way to, like, you have to find a way to keep it going. So thank you, truly.
Oh, this was the chat to have today. This was the message of the universe, like hang in there. And you always have my support. I really think this community, I love coming here every single Monday and what I say, it's we always see like our Instagram super curated and everything. It's so nice there. But sitting here and listening to people, it's that reminder that you always say, like, we are all people. There's always so many interesting, weird, or smart, whatever, humans behind of all of that. And I think this age we have lost with connection, like touch with that reality. We forget to human so a lot. So this has bring me to that, and also inspiring from all other people that it's in the same industry. So hang in there. I support you so much.
I talk too damn much, but I just want to tell you, like, whatever you need from ConnectWed, nothing is too much. We will always try to support you. Like, I appreciate what you say, and it's so nice to hear that what we're already doing is supporting you. But if there's anything you can ever think of, like no matter how random or even if it seems too huge, we will always try to support you. We will always try to come up with a new event or a new program or a new way to help you. Like we genuinely, we're here for you, and whatever it is you need, we want to do it.
Thank you. I might start thinking of something, so let me cook it and I'll. Thank you so much.
Loving the energy. I mean, it's always great, but like this really feels really inspiring today. Thank you. Does anyone else feel equally inspired to add anything or to ask anything to Paula? Amy?
I love you.
I love you.
So Paula and I have actually spent some time together in two different countries. And even though we only live a few hours away from each other, Miami will happen. Or Charleston. That's how Lauren and I always pronounce Charleston now. It's Charleston. But who she is, I just have to say, like, first of all, like you working on your stuff, you are killing it at what you do, ma'am. You are crazy talented. You need to have so much more confidence because there are so many people that are like, and I've seen it when you're photographing of other people like, oh, I like what she's doing. Oh, I want to do that. So own your talent. You're an artist. You're a stinking freaking artist and just own it. And I love you. And who she is, like this, like she is the biggest ball of energy and joy, like just authentic, unadulterated joy. And it is amazing just to spend time with her. So if anybody ever gets a chance, you have to do it.
Well, I love you. Thank you. You're gonna make me cry. I needed to hear that. Thank you. I love you too.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. That's a new line to put on your website, Paula. I'm a stinking freaking artist. You know,
I love that.
tagline, thanks to Amy. Yeah. Any more love to share before we wrap up today's session?
Me?
Okay. Oh yes, Daniele. Daniele,
If you're gonna close, it's okay, huh? I can send her a message
no,
after.
please. We have time. I have a pro Zoom account. Yes. Let's go
Oh
for
my
it.
God. No, I just want to join to, praise Paula a little bit because I mean I really relate to everything she said, and it's so nice to see someone that dare to do what I never did. There was like be in a different country and go after people, introduce yourself to people, and see that this pays off. It's inspirational. So really thank you for that. I'm gonna try to follow your steps.
You're so sweet, Danielle. Well, feel free to, reach out, and if I can help you and guide you of anything, it takes, honestly, just like what I ever say, it's like these people don't know me, and if they don't respond or whatever, they are never gonna see me again, and I will never see them again. So like, what can go wrong?
Yeah, that's a nice way.
I feel like you could write a mini book of like little life lessons.
Yes, please.
Is there's all these little nuggets pouring out of you when you tell your story.
I just think I like to talk a lot. That's why I need some.
Okay then. Nathan.
Yeah, a quick question. I really enjoyed getting to know you, Paula, and listening to your story. It's really, really incredible. Like you really embody the story of like, an immigrant coming to a new country and building a life for yourself. It's really, really inspiring. So I wanted to share that. And I think we established in a previous call, we went to Colombia last spring and we really loved it. We went to many cities. So I was curious, what part of Colombia are you from?
I'm from Bogota, the capital.
Oh, Bogota. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in each city, and I gotta say, the thing we're most impressed about Colombia is just the resilience of the people and the hospitality and the kindness of the people. And just listening to you for the past half an hour, like you just really embody all of that. So I just found that to be so true.
I'm still waiting for your blog. I want to read it. Send it to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is one up about Colombia, about Cartagena. So
Yes,
that
I
one.
want to read that one.
Okay, maybe you give me corrections about it from a pro.
Oh, I just wanna read it, but I'm
Okay.
excited to know about your experience in Colombia because a lot of people it's always afraid to go because so many things. But I will tell you guys, if you ever want to go to Colombia and you let me know, I will personally take you. And I think nobody will ever be disappointed of going, and you can try all the most amazing fruits that you can. And honestly, it's just like not like the normal destination, but like if you ever can go, like please don't miss going.
Workshop in Colombia? Anybody? Photography workshop in Colombia?
Yeah.
Also, I just realized I'm such an idiot. I was like, I'm not an immigrant, but I am an immigrant.
Well, I was wondering, like, I
And
thought like, oh,
actually,
maybe there.
5, Sharon, are you an immigrant technically? I know your family's Filipino, but I can't remember where you were born.
My daddy came straight off the boat. I was born here in the US, but he came right
So,
from the Philippines.
so 5.5 of us are immigrants on this call. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like I have, and let's fucking call it what it is. Unfortunately, the way the world is, I don't feel like I have as much of that immigrant struggle because I'm white. And that's a whole lot of BS, but it's true. So yeah, I just have so much admiration for you and like your tenacity to like, get it done and yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and then what you're saying, like, it's interesting because, yeah, having a Colombian passport is not easy. Sometimes you get called to a different line than anybody else. You get like more attention for the wrong reasons. And it's just the way it is, and there's nothing that you can do. So I'm very thankful that I've been able to travel so much and to do so much. Because yeah, I know some people have it like a little bit easier, but it's not gonna stop me.
I'm gonna have to stop you. 'Cause, I couldn't help myself. Like I could talk to you all day, but I feel like it's time to wrap this up, unfortunately, for today. And thank you once again for everything you've shared today and all the inspiration that's been oozing out of you for several people, all of us, I think, on this call today. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Alrighty, then. Thank you so much for joining, everyone.